and welcome to this BuyBotPro video. So in this video I want to talk to you about return on investment. So return on investment is basically talking about the money you get back from your investment. So return on investment, so the investment is how much you pay for your product and potentially including your prep fees and your tax and all that sort of stuff. And then it's how much you get back for having invested that amount of money. So that's what return on investment is. And let's talk through how BuyBotPro gives you the opportunity to choose how that is calculated. Because there's lots of ways to choose how that is calculated, because if you think about that investment, so that investment on the return on investment could be just the buy price, or it could be the buy price and your prep fees and every cost associated with that deal. It could be a lot of things. And that's where BuyBotPro gives you the opportunity to choose which calculation method works best in your business. So let's go through them and have a look at what BuyBotPro offers you. So when your BuyBotPro is up on your Amazon page, if you click the wheel at the top right, and you'll come down and see your ROI methods here, and you've got a drop down to give you the choose different methods. But if you click on or hover over ROI calculations, BuyBotPro will show you all the calculations for each ROI method. So let's run through them. So method 1 is the most basic of ROI calculation, because you've got to bear in mind that ROI is not an accountancy or a tax calculation. It's a business management tool. So there's lots of different ways to calculate it, and there's no right or wrong answer. They're just doing slightly different things. So you need to understand what they're doing so you can choose, as I say, what's best for your business. So method 1, which is the most popular in the UK, is the profit over the product cost times 100. So the profit you're going to make from a deal divided by the cost of the product times 100. So that's the most basic form of ROI calculation. And then you can see that they get a little bit more complicated as we go down the page a little bit. So method 2, so that's your sell price minus your cost of goods. So where we're talking about costs of goods there, what we're talking about is all the things listed underneath the line. So not only is that a divide line, but it shows you what the cost of goods is. So it's a sell price minus the product cost, the shipping, the prep, the bundle fee, extra fees, if you've used them, and VAT, divided by the product cost, shipping, prep, bundle fee, extra fees, VAT, times 100. Because where you're working out return on investment, the most accurate way to do it is keep the cost of goods that is above the fraction line, if you like, the same as the cost of goods below. So where we've mentioned cost of goods, that will always be the same as what is the cost of goods listed underneath the fraction line. So you've got your sell price minus your cost of goods divided by your cost of goods times 100. But where you're doing that calculation, those two costs of goods should be identical. So method 3 gives you your sell price minus your cost of goods divided by your cost of goods times 100. But the difference between method 2 and method 3 is method 3 is including more costs. So you can see that the Amazon fees are included in method 3 and they're not in method 2. So if you want to take account of more of all of your fees, then you'd use method 3. So method 4, as you can see, is literally using every cost. And that is officially the most accurate way to do your ROI calculation. So although the UK, it's most popular is method 1, actually the correct way to do it is method 4. So that is, more mathematically correct. So it's your sell price minus all your costs of goods, including all your Amazon fees, including even your storage costs, times 100. So sell price minus the cost of goods divided by cost of goods times 100. So that's method 4. So method 5 is giving you different costs of goods again. So each of these are giving you different costs of goods. 2, 3, 4 and 5, they're all doing it in the same way, but the cost of goods are different. So you can see which of those that you want to do and which you don't want to do. So method 5 takes out VAT completely. So it's sale price minus cost of goods divided by cost of goods, all excluding VAT, times 100. And that tends to be the most popular in the US. Obviously, they don't use VAT in the US, so that's the most popular in the US. And then method 6 is your profit divided by your product cost plus your total costs times 100. So if you're in the UK and you want to do it in the most popular way that lots of other people do, because you want to compare your results against other people's results or whatever you want to do, that's method 1. If you want to do it, you're in the UK and you want to do it in the best way possible in terms of mathematically correct, that is method 4. And if you're in the US, they tend to use method 5. And as I say, there is method 6 as well if you want a slightly different way of doing it. So method 1 and method 6 are slightly different ways of doing it. And the others just change on how many cost of goods you include. So the calculation is the same: sale price minus cost of goods divided by cost of goods times 100. But it's just changing what those costs of goods are. So as I've gone through already, you can have that very basic in terms of just your product cost, or you can have it much more complicated when it includes all the fees that you're going to be charged. So as I say, that's how the ROI works. That's what return on investment is. And it's not actually, as I've said already, it's not a accountancy or a tax calculation. It's a business management calculation. And that's why there's different ways of doing it, because different people have different ways they like to do it. So if you're in the UK, I'd suggest you choose between method 1, which is the most popular, and method 4, which we believe to be the most correct. And if you're in the US, then method 5 will probably suit you best. So that's how the return on investments work. Give the video a thumbs up if that's helped explain it to you, please. And subscribe and click the little ding dong so you know when we do our next video. And we'll see you next time.